Was a bitch. All I wanna do is this. Motherfucker don't know. Keep the real in this bitch. Niggas like to go low, but they can't get with this. Nigga trying to make money, starting off real hard. Nigga couldn't even go. Wanna know what's the show? Keep the real on the mic. YouTube streets in the night. Doing all that he could. Nigga gon' keep it hood. But the haters won't top me. Motherfuckers won't block me. Assholes gon' flag me. Motherfuckers can't stop me. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas wanna sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas better sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Keep the real in big, yo. Keep the real like FICO. Keep the real score higher than a 7-800. That's not a typo. Keep the real on the horizon. China rope is higher. Troller trying to play me. They a motherfucking liar. AFW on a corner. Can't depend on honor. She recruit another set. Now she is a wreck. Lame niggas in another space. Seeing dollar signs in this place. Good guys gon' protect the place. Trying to keep the fucking haters away. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas wanna sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas better sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas wanna sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Hating ass niggas everywhere. Jealous niggas better sit and stare. Keep the real, better be aware. Hating niggas better be aware. Motherfucker like Homer King. Road worker with a fucking dream. Better get a goddamn team. FWA. Roll up in the chat. You don't wanna deal with that. D. Brown is the motherfucking godfather. That's a fact. Shut out to the good guys. Cross the T's and dot your I's. Motherfuckers wanna ask why. The good guys don't have to ask why. Did you rather Godfather? Did you rather Godfather? A nigga talk like a white man. A nigga look like a black man. A nigga think like an Asian. This is confusion. A nigga talk like a white man. A nigga look like a black man. A nigga think like an Asian. This is confusion. Turn to cold, smoke. Turn to cold. I know you want it around me. Cold. I know you want it around. Welcome, everybody. This is D. Durrell with the Conscious Clientele. Happy to be here on this Friday. I am broadcasting in my hometown of Simsport, Louisiana. Chilling right now. I am basically enjoying my time with my family. I got a chance to see my niece today. I saw my little nieces that she has. I saw my dad chilling in my one of my rooms that I used to sleep in as a kid. Saw my oldest sister last night. Stayed at her house in Lafayette. I'm pretty much having a pretty much good time,
Saw
man.
my oldest sister
I'm
last night.
glad to have some time off. Um, Even though I have this time off, it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not working. Earlier today, I had a continuing education class. I'm trying to get certified in having a domestic violence program. So I had some training that I did. And I'm just basically doing a webinar training discussion. It wasn't real work. Definitely not about seeing clients, not doing therapy, not doing any clinical notes, managing people, things of that sort. So I haven't been involved in the real work. Okay. So I have been enjoying my time off, and I will be here for the next few days. After I do my live stream tonight, I will be going gambling at the Paragon Casino in Marksville with my father. Um, and I will be there for a couple hours, and then I'm going to probably come back and do a live stream late tonight. I'm going to do a live stream late tonight. It's going to be definitely lit, so I'm going to make sure of that. Um, so that's pretty much what I got set for my agenda today. Tomorrow, I might go see my sister for her birthday. If not, I'm definitely going to see her Sunday. I might go see my other sister. So I got a lot of different options of things that I will be doing as I visit with all of my family. Um, the little town I come from is very rural. Very rural. It is not well kept up. It's just things are just all over the place. It's drug ridden. A lot of drugs here. A lot of poverty, unfortunately. It's gotten worse and worse. It wasn't like this back in the day when I lived here. Even when I grew up as a kid, it was well kept up and so forth. No, it doesn't nowhere look. It just has gotten worse and worse over the years, and just poor leadership, poor management. I have a niece that's actually a city councilman, so she's hopefully attempting to get in the system and change some things. Just wanted to have that discussion with you on that as far as what I'm doing. Um, just enjoying my time off. I actually will be coming to Louisiana in probably 2 weeks. I'll be going to New Orleans, which I can't wait to have that time in New Orleans. I'm going to be there for like 3 to 4 days, so I'm definitely going to enjoy engaging in that. So, with that being said, guys, let's kind of get to the topic at hand. Man, the sector is going wild. This Umar Johnson sector, FDMG Academy sector, whatever you want to call it, the Umar Johnson versus Anti-Afro Bengali, Anti-Fraud Warrior sector is off the chain. You already know the characters at hand. You already know where people stand with certain people. Man, you got, you know, Shakim Raw channel is becoming the channel of everybody just want to act the goddamn ass. Yes, I was watching last night. Same thing yesterday, the same thing the day before yesterday. Same cast of characters. I don't know what's up, how this thing is going to be resolved between Poetic Flocka and Smoke God, but I'm hoping something can happen. I do understand there was a lot of things that Flacco is upset about, mad about, and he has the right. He's and is rightfully so. However, at some point, we can't allow this to be something that goes on for an hour, hour and a half on somebody else's platform. I mean, and I know we Shaq and Rogers chilling, letting it happen the way it happens, and I understand that people are entertained by the shit. But man, going back and forth with multiple people for 30, 45 minutes to an hour, 10, 15 minutes is okay. Listen, that's not my platform. I can't tell him how to do his job. But man, it's becoming a bit redundant.
It's becoming a little bit redundant. I have to say that. So TMK Media says all the way from Bug Tussle, Louisiana. I hope is some good gumbo in your future. Yes, it is, but it's too hot for gumbo right now, baby. Brother, it's too hot for gumbo right now. So Black Abe said, yeah, they need 10 minutes. Yeah. It was actually too much. Nelly Child, I agree with you. It was just too much, man. I mean, I can deal with the fuckery. I engage in it myself. But damn, man, we can't just be going back where this shit just monopolizing the goddamn um, platform in the damn show because we enjoy the back and forth interaction between multiple content creators. I mean, last night, you saw Real Lock in there, um, Poetic Flocka, Ghost. Man, it was all over the fucking place. I mean, I'll be honest, it would be difficult for me to try to manage some shit like that. And I'm not the best, person at managing. When that's why I don't really like having over 6 or 8 more people. Because once you get in the 6, 7, 8 plus, man, everybody want to talk. Yeah, you're right, Verla. It was really heated. It's been really heated for the last 2 or 3 days. Excuse me. It's been really, really heated for the last 2 or 3 days, and I don't think it's going to ever get better. Look, man, we cannot expect for the things that they said, alleged that they said Poetic Flocka did. Flocka ain't forgiving on that shit, and I can't blame him, and I can't blame Smoke God for getting mad at Flocka saying stuff about his son. I think Flocka was totally out of line on that shit. I'm not for that. Last night, you telling somebody fuck their kids and kids this and that, man. That's people are not trying to think logically after that, and that's just the truth. Maybe he did. Maybe binary. I mean, Poetic Flocka did that so we can deter the topic away from binary. Look, man, I'm gonna let y'all know this, and for everybody in the chat, binary is not worth fucking talking about. The guy got fucking 560, 80 fucking subscribers. Motherfucker can't even get 1,000 subscribers yet. Let's just be honest. He is not. He is basically like this. Is basically he's hyped up more than what his value really shows. For all of the smoke that binary is getting, he has not capitalized on that at all. Binary needs other people on his panel. Binary cannot carry a show by himself. He needs panelists. He needs trollers. He needs to troll, and he needs to talk about topics that other people speak. And then he makes a attempt to talk about people and be funny about it. And nobody laughs in his chat except for him. If I had $1 for every time that binary laughed at his own jokes and nobody else gave a damn about them damn jokes and those horrible ass impersonations. But hey, that's where we are in the YouTube streets. That's where we are. Hey Casey, how you doing, baby? How you doing today? Glad to see you coming in here. Verla says Smoke God was straight trolling Shakim's live. He possibly could have been. I agree, Black Abe, and it's too personal. You can roast Smoke all day, but leave his kids out of it. I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean, I'm gonna say this: both people have done some things I think they shouldn't have done, but at the same time, we're not handling this like men right now. We just, man, it's just as soon as one person come up and say something, the other person say something, then they cursing and yelling at each other. Uh, I mean, sometimes I wonder if certain people are put in place to disrupt and say stuff just to deter the topic from what is really at hand. And I'm like just a Flacco, man. You can only support binary so much to the point, you know, to a point where he can't get any more protection. He doesn't deserve protection. So, I mean, that's just the perspective that I look at it from. Hey, Miss T Pre, how are you doing? I do agree with glad for you to come in. I mean, it's just too much, man. Like damn. I was in and out of the chat last night as I was speaking to my sister and her husband and my nephew. I remember I left for like a good hour and 15 minutes. Came back to the live. It was the same shit. The same people yelling and screaming. Nobody else. The same motherfuckers doing the same shit. And I'm saying this to smoking and poetic flocker, man. We can't have this every goddamn show. I mean, I'm to let you all know, y'all definitely not bringing y'all ass over here doing that. You already know I'm quick to and flocker, you my boy and all. You definitely one of my people I definitely like in here. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt because you're one of my boys. You're a good guy. I'm gonna give the good guys the benefit of the doubt. But at some point, I'm like, come on, man, we can't be doing this. We gotta leave the children out, flock. We can't do that. And I know you're trying to do something to make it hurt because the shit they said to you hurt. And I remember the shit that they were saying. But I'm not repeating the words because I understand the words have ramifications. And so we have to respect that. That's just what it is. You know, um, I don't want rumors getting put out on people that's not true. I don't want people saying the R word to people claiming somebody did this and did that, and the shit is not true. Oh, Verla says she has a live stream tonight. She says she's canceling my live tonight. I don't expect anyone to show for it at TPRE. Well, you need to have it lit up. You need to make it just show it and give it a test run, brother, and see what happens. If you got 2 or 3 to 5 or 6 people, hey, that's good. You know, build your channel up. I remember a time, man. There was a time when I first began doing live streams. I'm gonna say this: when I first began doing now, live streams wasn't what it is now as it was back in 2018, 19. Um, the whole streaming situation was not like it is now. On average, when I first started doing live streams, I'm gonna repeat. When I first began doing live streams, my live streams were like I had 3 to 5 people in my live streams. That's it. 3 to 5 people, and it was like that for a good 2 months. Then it picked up to around I was comfortable with around 8 to 15, and I just was not getting the support. I just kept doing it, kept making connections, kept doing content, and it steadily increased where it began to be about 15, 20, 25, 30. I stayed around the 20, 30 range for a long time. Then sometimes I would get 40 to 50. And I stayed around the 40, 50 range for a while. Even now, I get the 40, 50 range. That was a point in February where things kind of changed for me, where I was pulling 60, 70, 80, and 90. That was the days when I was going live right before the cold storm. Every afternoon between 7 and 10, I was going live and I was doing 70, 80, 90. I did that. I still can get up to 70, 80, 90 on certain times. Um, all depends on the topic and the time that I am going live. So, but on average, I'm doing between 40 and 60 on average. On average, I can get in the 70s easy. I can get in the 80s also. but on an average time, I'm gonna say between 50 to 70. That's where my threshold. You know, Verla says people rather watch Stargate and Family, not me. Nah, I have not watched Stargate and Family yet. What's up, Michael Israel? We need more quality. I agree with that. And hey, guys, I need to check out TMK Media, man. He doing some great topic. Grown folk talk. Definitely ground folks talk. What's up, Shakim Ra? What's up, brother? So, what's up, the real show, the Nova Real Show? So, I mean, this sector is what it is, man. This is the sector that we chose. We chose this sector. This sector has people that want to hear about things about the content creator, and they want to hear about Lennon Honor and anti-fraud warriors and Umar Johnson. If you're not talking about content creators in the sector, if you're not talking about Umar Johnson or Spengali, or let's say prominent people in the sector like myself, Flacco, Make a Change, Max, all these people, Smoke God, whomever. If you're not a major content creator in the sector, and if it's not Umar, it's not Lennon, it's not anti-Afro, most people don't want to hear it. Now, there have been some flirting where people have done outside content that people would agree on or like, and then they would say yes to it. But then there's many that don't. This is how it is. So I would like to see growth in the sector. I like to see the growth where we have people from other sectors, other YouTubers that are not necessarily here all the time. They would like to come in and participate and watch and view and share the videos and bring our content to other sectors. That's the only way we're going to grow. We're going to grow by not talking about Umar Johnson and Lennon as much. We're going to grow by focusing on the content creators and the content creators exposing us to other sectors and other people who are new to YouTube and other social media platforms. TMK Media said 80% of my panel on Saturday will not be from this sector. And that's good. It needs to be that way. It needs to be where we have people from other sectors that are contributing and they want to come more often. LB said Umar topic is getting boring to me, but I love teasing Lennon and his hypocritical begging. Exactly. That's crazy. People argue me on stuff. So right. So I see people are creating their own channels. Miss Verla creating her own channel. Let's see what she's gonna be talking about. I mean, there's a lot of good content creators in this sector. There's a lot of great content creators in this sector. And we just have to focus on that. And it will make for a better sector. So that's kind of where the sector is. You got Smoke beefing against everybody on both sides. You got Binary on everybody on both sides. You had the recent abuse, or the most recent situation is all about Binary right now. Binary and Shakim. And so that's where we at, man. That's where we at. So I sent the link down for anybody that wants the link. I did send the link so we can have these discussions about the Umar Johnson sector. You all can chime in and give your own perspectives on things. My perspective is We got to make this about the content creators, and all content creators are uniquely and consistently creating their own content whether people want to hear it or not, but it's relatable. I think that's the route we have to go. LB said that Smoke was getting outrageous with when it Flacco, but was he hoping it together, holding holding it together? Yeah, Smoke is trying his best to contain himself, act with decorum, not get angry, upset. He is controlling himself. So, all right. So let's get to some more things. I want to touch on in this sector what is going too far, because we're going, because the whole thing now in this sector is about this sector is becoming known as a sector of doxing, a sector of calling the police, a sector of calling FBI, government agencies, just calling those people. And I'm gonna be honest with you. This started with anti-Afro Bengali. I don't care what nobody says. She is the person that created this culture of people contacting government agencies and law enforcement. She created this monster. I mean, that's just the reality is that we're taking things too far. We don't need to be doing all of this. And you calling the police on somebody is not benefiting you. It's not benefiting you. You're making something that shouldn't be real offline real. And there are people in this sector that think is they justify, and I'm gonna repeat, justify trying to hurt people financially and socially and legally. But you hurting someone is not going to improve your situation. You know, use an analogy you understand. So it's ridiculous, and I don't know, like, the limitations have to be there. The limitations have to be there, man. I don't want to see good guys doxing kids. I don't want to hear good guys calling the police unless it's justified on other people. I don't want to see the good guys doing that. I don't. My thing is this: all these anti-fraud wars and so forth. When don't come crying to me in other content platforms when something bad happens to you and you fuck with one of the good guys. I think when it comes to bi curious, Flock, I mean poetic Flock, I mean Shaka Ra was justified. You dox where I live. You dox where I the inside of my house. And to say these ludicrous statements of I'm just responding back to you. I'm going to exercise my rights to all these different things. I have the right to do this. I have the right to do that. Are you kidding me? So you want people to start spending money to litigate your ignorance? LB says, I'm not benefiting. It's not benefiting D Darrell, but some people won't stop. Spot him is one. He loves to call me Jabba the Hutt, but I haven't seen his face or his body yet. I agree with that. Spot him shot him is a person I didn't get along with. Spot him shot him. We've been cool since his debacle with Lennon, but that don't mean we can be offending everybody. I know he trolls, but there has to be limitations. Where are the limitations? There are none. And yeah, you're right, TMK Media. Binary promised a 44-page document on Shackamore for weeks. The response was a natural one. But then this Negro promised TS, Tamika Solomon Spears. Where is she? All these false promises, all of these lies, just so I can get super chat money. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy that somebody sent a legal document to this man's house filing paperwork against him. Now, this man may have to spend money fighting this with a lawyer and so on. It's ridiculous. LB, I'm going to tell Spot and Shot him to stop. I'm going to tell them personally to stop doing it. But you have to behave yourself, LB. Just the facts. And so that's where we are as a sector. And the people who cry the most are the people who've done the most damage. Binary, you done the most damage in the sector for the last 2 months, 2.5, 3 months. But now you're doing the doxing. Now I know. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is not necessary. It takes the fun out of being online. Takes the fun out of creating a caricature of yourself. Now everybody want to know what you really doing, what you really got going on. I'm saying you have no right. No, I mean it's just frustrating seeing this. Now you got we don't know if the FBI is surveillancing this whole sector. We're all under surveillance. So there's just things to think about. I'm just kind of thinking myself. They thinking they say, Darrell, are you part of the Four Horsemen? Woo! I'm Ric Flair. I'm Ric Flair, JJ Dillon. Yes, and Binary, he keeps promising a change of direction, but nothing happens. He's just another ploy to stay relevant. I mean, be honest with you, when is he going to talk about something related to himself that draw? Everything that he does is actually about other people. Will people listen to him talk about himself? I mean, my thing is, I want to see everybody eat. I want to see everybody do good, grow their platforms. I don't mind having opposing voices on my panel. I made my name from having opposing people. But what I'm not going to have is when people speak on things and they think they can lie on my platform, say things that I know is not, not correct, but I can deal with that. I can correct them. But when you're doing things at at a certain level, this has to be done better, man. Just better. Verla Hatcher said, I may have a Father's Day show and play some old school jams pertaining to fathers. I appreciate that, Verla. I think that's much necessary. So TMK Media says those characters of black voices and persistent overuse of the N bomb is nothing short of a minstrel show. I agree. I agree. So this is kind of where we at, man. This is where the sector is at and where the sector is going to go. So again, I got the link out here, guys. If anybody want to get the link, I'm sending the link out again. For anybody that wants to come up and talk to D Durrell about this stuff. I'm just kind of parlaying right now, chilling because I'm about to take a shower in a little bit, get situated, get ready to go out tonight with my dad and go gamble. I'm gonna gamble. Maybe I can win some money and give it to the FDMG Academy. Umar couldn't do it. So, and I'm gonna say this: it's cool with knowing that my name is not really at the forefront of things. You're not seeing as many videos on me. Well, I take that back. They got. I talked to Ms. Moms Davis. She told me about content done on me, created by other people, random content creator. That's gonna happen. Part of your growth as a content creator is going to come from people that don't like you, that have a tendency to share your videos with others, or others that don't have the same religious, don't have the same response to things. Just don't. So that's kind of where I'm at on it, man. That's where I'm at. LB says, Darrell, have you heard from Tiff Griff? I haven't seen her in your chat in a long time. I saw Tiff Griff in another chat a couple times. I seen her over there with TMK Media. She hadn't been here in a while for whatever reason. I think she was here last month. I think last week. I think early middle last week. Tiffany is a busy person. She has a business. She has tons things that she does, and I don't know. She just wasn't up for it at the time. It's crazy, just the things that go on here. And I'm all for people battling out, getting their point of views out. But when it comes to just endless negativity, no recourse, no change, is that, hey man, I'm just not for that. So if anybody wants to get the link, or I see somebody want to come up, T Pre, I'm gonna let her up. Hey sis, what's up, baby? Hey T Pre.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. What's up? What's up,
Hey,
sis?
Darrell, what's going on? Conscious clientele, all the
I am
chat.
great.
That's what's up. Yep, it's the end of the work week for me, so I'm relaxing. I just wanted to come up real quick and just kind of add to what you were saying. I'd love to see more of the women in the sector start their own channel. You know, um, you don't have to be talking about the Umar Johnson sector to be successful on YouTube. You really don't. Like I made 2 videos in 48 hours and I've had over 11,000 views on both of those videos. So,
Oh wow,
and
that's pretty
neither
good.
one of those videos have anything to do with the Umar Johnson sector. So between both videos, I've had that much. I've had one of them is trending at almost 8,000 views right now. And I made that one last night.
Oh
And
wow.
the other one,
What was the topic?
it's about see, I'm involved in the tea sector in YouTube too. So
Oh, the beef
um
sector.
not the beef sector, the tea sector.
Oh, the
So
gossip sector.
yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I put up something about the all about the tea drama and everything that's been going on with that.
Right.
And it just trended. I mean, I have two buddies, so I use that to put the hashtags and stuff in and kind of attract what YouTube, what's going on in the algorithm, and that's
Okay.
what pushed those videos through the algorithm. It's not hard. That's why I was telling Verla, like, go ahead and go live. Just turn that camera on
Right.
because the two videos are like 4 minutes or less,
Oh
and neither
wow.
one of those videos were planned. I didn't write notes down on those videos. I just turned the camera on and started talking.
Wow.
So more
You
women
know,
should be doing that.
yeah, yeah. I have two, buddy. I'm not real efficient at using it, but I do use it. I do need to reshape how I do my. I know it's very important with the tags, and they'll let you know, like what topics are really good to
To
use or
put up
not.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
They'll
yeah,
they'll put they'll populate all the tags for you. It's just a matter of you picking which ones you want to put on there. And so I
exactly.
typically put on there whatever I'm talking about. And as soon as you do that, I'm telling you, your videos like a minute, a view a minute is what you're going to get.
Yeah. Two, buddy does help. It does help a lot.
It does. If you really if you gotta study what you want to do. So you first want to talk about what you want to do on YouTube. What's your purpose of doing it? And then once you get that purpose down, start studying the content creators that are doing that and figure out what they're doing that's making them successful and model after that. You don't have to do exactly what they're doing, but you can model after that, and I guarantee you're going to be successful.
Right. Right.
And that's what I did. I took a step back. I looked, and tried to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I did not want to go on in this sector. I knew I didn't want to continue with this because this wasn't going to take my channel nowhere.
Right.
And as soon as I stepped out of the sector, it went off, took off.
Wow. And I think that's a good thing.
Mhm.
To go into sectors where you lead and like for me right now, my other channel, the D Durrell Life Solutions channel, I'm trying to get that into the it's kind of caught up. I may have to change the name of the channel and take my name out of it because I put my name, it kind of links with this channel because this is D Durrell Rebirth and the other one is D Durrell Life Solutions. I may have
Right,
to take the name out. I'm trying to get into the black therapist kind of area where it's a small sector. It's not really a sector per se, but when I type my name, I don't go into that sector at all, and I should be in that sector, being that
right.
I'm
You
a black
definitely
therapist.
should. Yeah,
Yeah, and so I'm trying to get out of the algorithm because it kind of puts me in my channel because I have my name. It kind of links me to this sector and somewhat in the manosphere because I've been there for a while, but I don't particularly want that channel in uh those two sectors. I want it separate, like totally not in those sectors. So I'm trying to get it out of there. So I basically hashtag black therapists. I try to do things that get it out of that sector.
if you use TubeBuddy, right?
Right.
And when you upload your videos and you scroll all the way down where it says show more or something, when you go into that area, it takes you to a place where you put in your hashtags and you can actually type in like a couple of key words. So, say for instance, you want to say like black therapist or black therapy sector or something like that. You can put that in there and it'll tell you like all the hashtags that are in the algorithm for that particular, for whatever people are looking for that. And you just start putting all those in there. And I guarantee you people are going to come to it.
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to reshape how I'm doing that and reshape it because I've also tried to grow the channel from the subscribers that I have from
Hmm.
this, but it is not necessarily correlating because I'm not. I don't know if you've seen the D Darrell Life Solutions, but I'm totally acting a different man.
Yeah, I love that channel.
Yeah, I'm acting totally different. Really,
Yeah.
the way I really is the way I really act in real life, but that's more close to who I am than how I act on this one. But and I understand that people like to see me doing a certain things, and I do this. This more entertainment. It's more of me just saying whatever I want. Just being whatever. But from a professional standpoint, that channel more represents how I am professionally. So, and the topics that I deal with in real life, as far as with people and so on. So,
Right, with your
I'm getting
profession.
ready to
Yeah.
do a huge series on domestic violence in the Black
Okay.
community. I'm going to
Yeah.
focus on that. I'm going to do a whole series on that because I'm actually in the process of certifying and being accredited as a domestic violence facility, and
Okay.
I'm halfway finished, and I have about maybe a month and a half to 2 months left, and once that's completed, I'm going to start creating a series where I'm talking about what domestic violence looks like in the Black community. I'm going to focus a lot on all of the things, how it affects the children, the women, the men. I'm going to talk about how of course there's men that men are more or less the perpetrators, but there's also a situation when women also equally not equally, but they also participate in abuse and how men handle it or they try to repress it. So I'm going to
Yeah.
focus on all those things that happen because there are a lot of broken families and broken situations that come from domestic violence. And um,
I think that's a great topic, D,
yeah,
especially from the women, because we put a lot of light on women being abused, but we don't put that light on women abusing men. And that happens a lot more than people think. I think a lot of it even also stems from what a man went through in his childhood and
right,
what he accepts later in life. It's the same thing, the flip side of what we say about women and how women may have went through certain things in childhood that would condition them to deal with certain types of men and certain types of personalities. And I think that also is happening with men, but we don't put enough light on that. We really don't.
right. I agree. I agree with that. I think the way I'm going to look at it, the way I'm going to do it is I'm not going to look at it from a just it goes deeper than just the dynamic between Black women and Black men as you are involved in a relationship. I'm going to look at it from the totality of the relationship and the children and other people as far as family that is involved that know that this is going on and what they do about it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, one of the most difficult things that I've dealt with in domestic violence situations is when the family members of the victim or the perpetrator influence or they attempt to influence what the actual participants in that relationship should be doing. Because
Oh
when
yeah,
when
yeah.
you have a lot of third, fourth parties that are involved, it can make things very, very messy. It makes things very, very messy. And then
Yeah,
also,
I've even
yeah,
heard of women who were being abused whose mothers encouraged them to stay with that man. You
yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
And
yes,
just different things like that.
yes. And a lot of those women that do that have been abused. But they
Yes.
don't talk about it, and so but they have had that experience. I know for a fact in the previous generations, like the baby boomers generations and above, that was pretty much a thing that was not talked about in the Black community. But there are a lot of situations in which those mothers basically encouraged their daughters that were abused to not get divorced no matter what. It was almost like divorce was like you were looked upon very negative for leaving that marriage. You know, And so when they have other sectors that talk about why the divorce rate is so high in the black community and why most of us are not getting married, is because it's a correction of what happened pre-integration when you had the shotgun marriages and the situations where men were treating a lot of women like crap and they were just taking it and just to keep the family together. It's a lot of things that, and so there, you got to understand there were women who viewed that and didn't want to repeat that. And so it went to where it went to the other side of the pendulum, where there are women who probably never wanted to get married, or if they were in a relationship, they wasn't putting up with that. And they would probably leave quickly without, any thought of working things out, because they didn't want to repeat what their parent went through, their mother went through. So it kind of can go, the dynamic is very complex, but I think it's definitely worth assessing and visiting and kind of having discussions on it. So what's up, Dr. Bombay?
Nothing much. I'm coming through okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, because I'm mobile. Yeah, I was just tuning in for the discussion about the sector news and everything that's happening, and how we're consumed now with, like, everybody has the thing where it's a personal beef, and that has become the channel content. I do believe that, like I said, I think one of the problems is behind the scenes we have people who thrive on controversy here, and they're causing a major disruption. Like, just to be honest, like most of the audiences do, sometimes we appreciate a little bit of drama, or sometimes we crave drama. But the problem is now we have full-blown content creators that are literally like, how can I create discord and anarchy? And they're using that as a fuel, So I think that's what we need to combat against. And, like I said, by creating more positive messages and, and just sometimes we have to face them head on and outrightly oppose them for what they're doing, to be honest. You look around, you see certain key players, that's all they do. They always manufacturing a beef with somebody, all the time. I mean, I'm not on here to name drop and go into that, but that's the thing. It's like, because for instance, I was just cruising around and I heard like my name on a channel like twice. And one instance of it, it was like, you could tell the person was trying to slur me because it was some type of, well, look what this guy's doing and aha. And then the other one was like, to create a rumor or something like that. I heard, T Free's name thrown around. I saw people in the chat saying, oh, you should block Bombay and T Free. I'm like, what do we need other than live by trying to do content in the sector? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when we have elements like that, those are people who, they poisonous and they mean no good. When you're going out of your way to like draw attention to people that don't say anything to you, that's the sad part. Like I said, they have nothing else. That's all they can live on, So
yeah. Was that in Binary's chat?
Yeah, it was over there. It was somebody had said that, that's where that was.
They ain't got to worry about block. They can block me all day because I ain't even going over there anyway. So.
Yeah, but the funny part is that this individual that typed the comment, I wanted to ask that individual, what do you know about T Pre? Like, what do you know? I said,
I'm pretty sure they haven't been to my channel because I literally made a video the other day that I talked about binary for about 5 minutes because I knew that everybody that would be watching that video wouldn't even know who this fool is. So there wasn't no point in me putting too much information out about him. But I purposely said what I wanted to say because I knew either he would hear it or somebody else would hear it and they would tell him what I said. And obviously I ruffled some feathers. So, okay, that's good. I think I did my job. I didn't disrespect the man. I actually said I don't want to see him lose his job or anything. But at the end of the day, he just needs to like lower, drop his ego and just, disengage from this, because all of this is not worth his job. It's not worth losing, things and stuff actually really interfering with his personal life. It's not worth that. I don't see what's wrong with that. If he wants to block me because I said that, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
right.
But my channel's still doing well without him, so it's cool.
No doubt. Yeah, it was a person. You got these, and I can't really get mad at the audience people. Like if the host mentions a name, you got these people, they're like mindless automatons. They just automatically go in. Well, my fearless leader said a name, so I got to automatically oppose the other person. And that's the part that got me. Like, what type of energy, are you spreading with that? You got these people, you're leading them around. And I'm gonna say this to anybody in the chat that wants to start a channel or do content or go live or anything, and you're concerned about membership, I tell you what, you would rather have 5 quality people that want to hear what you have to say tuning in, rather than have 40 or 50 yes men just sitting there waiting for a train wreck. You know what I mean? Because you want your message to have an impact. You don't want just a bunch of groupies or followers that they can't think for themselves. They don't have any opinions and they can't do anything outside of you. You want real people with you, not what we have in the sector where, honestly, to be honest, the greatest percentage of us here, we're here for the train wreck, so you definitely don't want that. And there are some good quality people here that'll tune in to get messages, and that's who you want following you. And like I said, do what T Pre's doing, step outside of the sector. Whatever your niche is, when you find your niche, go outside, find similar niche and start participating on those panels outside of this sector and doing that. If you notice something, and I'm not going to talk long, the reason why you see these hate mongers around here not prospering, they can't go outside their 40 or 50 cronies and do anything because their ego can't function in a platform where they're not relevant because they have nothing to say or nothing to offer anyone. So, that's all I got to say on that. Do your thing, find your niche. Like somebody put a comment on my channel and said, I think this is your niche right here. So guess what? I'm going to go with that. I'm going to take that advice and keep going down that lane and having those similar discussions. Because I didn't know what mine was. I thought it was music or something else. But hey, after I, started realizing that, hey, I like being a talk show host. And I like talking about issues in our community. So I'm just going to roll with that until the wheels fall off. So that's my advice to
man,
you.
I really, man, you had a good show. Man, y'all did a show. Man, I forgot. It was something about the community, man. You did, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. I was watching I wasn't necessarily in the chat, but I was watching from the clouds, man. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, well, thanks. That's the one with all the sisters was on it.
Yeah, the one with the women on there. Yeah.
Because we had the similar conversation a week earlier. It was all the brothers. So I was like, look, sometimes we go at war with each other. So I'm like, let me talk to the brothers and see what's on their mind, and then let's see what the sisters have to say, and see what's on their mind, and see, what do we need from each other to make a better community and improve relations. So that's what that was about, and I really enjoyed. I actually, like I said, I meant it. I learned a lot from just listening to the ladies on that thing,
right?
Right. So that's the best part of it. You get something out of.
Absolutely. V2V has her own channel too. It's called the V Spot. I don't know if anybody's been there.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has her own channel too. And I'm hoping that, because I know that, she deals with a lot of people over there that hangs out with Binary. I hope that nobody tries to push her channel in some beef type of direction, because as women, like I said, there are so many other things we could be doing out here and really be popular here on YouTube. Black women, like
right.
it's room out here for everybody. It
sure is. It's
we don't have to be talking about anybody in this sector at all to do it.
Yeah, I'm hoping her. I know Vita's real supportive. Like she's helped me. Like she came through and showed up, and like I said, she's real motivated. So I hope so too. That her channel does well.
She's really intelligent. Like she has, I think she can bring a lot to her channel. I think her channel would be really big. Stargate can too. I really think she could too. I just think other people should stop. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about this, but to me, it just looks like certain people are trying to control the narrative of her show. You feel me? Like they're trying to control what happens in the chat, and what topics are discussed. And I hope that she will just kind of take off on her own, and do her own thing.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to please everybody around her because everybody's not going to like your content.
They sure not. You're trying to
shit. I had the beautiful Bernice talk shit on one of my videos the other day, and
wow.
She was talking like she purposely just came out of the woodwork just to talk shit on one of my videos. I'm looking like, okay, honey,
She's still mad at me for teasing her for being in the hospital while she about to go to surgery. She trying to worry about giving Lennon $20.
I guess she mad at me because I support y'all.
She mad at you for supporting her?
I guess, because I ain't never did shit to this bitch. I don't know what's wrong with her.
I'm like, Bernice, who the hell, before you go to, you in the hospital getting ready to go to, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was being logical. You're getting ready to go to surgery, but before you get into surgery, I just want to let you know that I'm gonna make sure I donate to you before I go in. I don't know what's gonna happen, how this gonna come out, but I just want to make sure I do it before I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Wow.
I was like, come on.
To Lennon honor?
Yes, for Lennon honor. I was like, what the fuck?
I guess he needed some more Target pots and pans.
We got to support that brother. He's a shining example in our community of how you can make money and not have to lift the finger. Get your reparations now.
Exactly.
He the only one. He the only Negro getting reparations. The rest of us is still waiting on Joe Biden. He's getting his reparations.
Right, he don't even claim us.
It is crazy, man.
He's the only one getting reparations and don't even claim us.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, and I'm gonna say something like Dita Rell coined the term "non-black," right? And of course, we all took his accent and played on it to make it a new word. And but I just wanted to expand that. You got people that are non-black that are outside of the race, but you also got these non-blacks that are in the sector that are brown skinned, but they don't claim and they don't culturally identify. And people need to know how to recognize that. So you don't get caught up with somebody leading you and they don't even think like you. They don't even feel the way that you do, So the people on here say, every time I ask about the Lemon thing, they always say they donate, he's a good father. I'm like, me and Darrell got kids, where our checks at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Man, when we get out, is Father's Day coming too? Where our super checks? Hey, somebody put a family portrait up and y'all fall buying into that. Like, oh, he's a good father. How do you know he's a good father off camera? No, dude, turn the camera on, just let it roll. Just let us watch you go through your day. Get a GoPro and just run it and let us see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Good.
There's a prime example of that, Dr. Bombay. There's a prime example of that on YouTube. There's this guy named CJ So Cool. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but a lot of teenagers and stuff are attracted to him and his channel. It was a family channel, and he would show off his stepkids and his kids and his girl and stuff to everybody and all the stuff they bought. It was a black guy. It was a black family.
I mean, he got over 8 million subscribers.
Yeah, he's got a lot of subscribers. But anyway, he's a prime example of everybody thought he was this perfect man and he was this perfect father and all this stuff. And then come to find out he ain't shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it all came out on YouTube. So that's an example of you can't just put your trust in people and think, you can just believe whatever they say because everybody smiles in front of the camera and everybody is, dainty and nice and yeah, you can't do that. You don't know what this man is doing behind closed doors. You don't know how them kids really feel. And now Lemon's kids are older, outside of what those videos that he was making with them. Those boys, they've got to be close to 18 now. if they're not 18.
That oldest one is definitely at least 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah, I think he's close. Yeah. So they have formed their own opinion about their father. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not saying they have a problem with their dad. They probably don't, but they know a lot more than we do. You know what I
Way
mean?
more.
And they've seen a lot more than we have. They've been the ones that had to prep for these videos and all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they've seen all of those behind the scenes things. And you notice he don't even talk about the family no more. He don't talk about anything with the kids. I haven't watched him in a while though.
I think his wife probably stopped that shit after they started talking about the kids not reading and one of the kids not reading well. I really think she was behind Lennon taking that time off. I think she probably sat him down. I know this for a fact because when I had correspondence with Gerald talked about the problems that I quote unquote caused in their marriages. They actually blamed me.
Yeah.
They blamed me for causing problems because he mentioned about the I think Lennon struck my channel a few times when I put a thumbnail of Aida in there about, I think I did a show called What Does the Black Community Think of Aida, or something about how can you accept a man that don't work. I was saying stuff like that, and that really caused problems. She was really highly upset with those that did content about her when she was in the thumbnail, and she let Lennon know she didn't appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah. That caused
I'm sure
problems.
she did.
But my thing is, I'm not the problem of you. And I told everybody, and I even said this to him on my channel, and I know he watches. Your wife is a content creator that has 600 subscribers, and her content is still up. So your wife, now I don't agree with the thing with the children, but you put your children on social media. I would never put my little kids on social media.
Matter of fact, I wouldn't even put my grown kids on social media.
I got 2 grown kids that I don't.
Right.
Well,
I'm not putting nobody from my family on.
I wouldn't even put them. And I wouldn't even do that to them. Even if they asked, I would. And I got one daughter that does have a channel that she stopped doing stuff on it, but still, I still wouldn't do it. But the fact of the matter is that you put your children out there begging for money. So how are you not going to feel people are not going to criticize people who don't celebrate Christmas asking for presents? Explain that.
Insane.
Explain it to me. Why are you begging for presents if you, number one, you're not Christian and you don't celebrate Christmas? So if you don't celebrate Christmas, why are you asking for gifts? It's just simple questions. It's just logical questions. I'm not criticizing either of you as parents, but why would you wait at 11 o'clock at night? Your kid's sleepy, tired, don't want to do it, obviously, by the way they were looking, but you made them ask for presents. I would never put my children through that. Matter of fact, it's after 9, 10 o'clock, you have your butt in bed. You're not going to be up late at 11 o'clock on a YouTube camera platform.
Exactly. At all, especially begging. I'd be embarrassed to want to even bring my children and this is just coming from a woman. Like, I would be embarrassed to bring my kids into me having to move out of my house, you know what I'm saying, and get them out of the hood and all that. That's not their responsibility as children. You know what I mean? That's my responsibility as a mom, as a parent, to make sure, number one, I'm in a position to take care of my family. You know what I mean? And I'm the one that's financially responsible for the household. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, make sure that they're straight. You know what I mean? Different things like that. I'm not going to, I can't see myself putting them on YouTube to beg for money for us to move.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening.
Yeah.
But the worst thing about it, you have people that have justified the fact that because he's such a great man, there's nothing wrong with helping him out. And I'm
Yeah,
looking
but how do
like
they know how great he really is? Just because of some couple
exactly.
YouTube videos? Like,
That don't mean anything, but they refuse to understand. I'm like that just because he claims to be this doesn't mean that it's true. I'm like, come on, guys, this is like this is not. I'm like this is basic, man. Like this is like basic common sense. You know what I'm saying? This is basic. This is not something that involves a lot of intelligence to interpret. This man gets on the camera. At one time, Lennon does way more content than he would. I mean, he did way more content back then than he does now. And the fact of the matter, he was on YouTube a lot, particularly in 18 and 19. He kind of slowed down towards the end of 19, but definitely I know for a fact 18 and 19, Lennon was on YouTube a lot. Uploads, live streams, and he was making a lot of money. And and he approached YouTube like a part-time job. That's facts, you know. And then once the Umar stuff came, and then he claimed he was working and going to school, he slowed it down, which I think he was lying. And then the thing about it is like when he went to the weekend um schedule, his views went up for some reason. When he stopped, I guess because he did less content, more people were keyed in to watching his live streams during the weekend. You know, because he basically doesn't do a lot of content now, but when he does content, people are drawn to those videos. What's up, Black Abe? Black Abe. Black Abe, are you there? Okay, go ahead, P. What's up, P?
Hey, what's going on, D Rail, T Pre, um, Dr. Bombay? How's everybody doing this evening?
hey, P.
Hey, D Rail, man, help me out. I just need like your opinion and just helping me trying to understand this. Um, I'm just noticing, like, why do people like come on here or like they're on YouTube and it's like they're um just just taking verbal abuse and continuing to just take verbal abuse and coming back knowing they're going to get verbally abused and disrespected and just saying like terrible shit. I don't understand like the logic of people seeking it out and then complaining about it. I don't understand it. Help it make sense to me, bro.
Anybody want to comment on that?
It's just my observation. It just seems like you already, it's the simple thing to do is just don't come on this bitch or whatever you get. But you're seeking out the abuse that you're getting. And I don't understand that.
Right? Well, some people, man, you gotta understand. Like, there's some people who are fixated on doing YouTube. They don't. It shows a sign of lack of social aptitude in real life, and they this is all they got. This is YouTube is like the highlight, man, and they don't have friends, they don't have family, they may not have certain things, and so this is the only place where they may even have any type of interaction. So there are a lot of broken people that come on YouTube all the time.
Yep.
And they seek out this stuff because that's all they know.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
can see it
that's why
too,
on
and
this
it's
channel
sad.
that's why on this channel I stopped talking about mental health as much as I used to. You know,
Yeah.
I've decided to separate it from um from this channel and just talk about it primarily on the other channel because I see so much craziness going. The minute I say something, you know, um, people don't want to receive it for other reasons because they're taken back by the other things that I do and say in response to the sector. So I'm at this point where okay, I'm just gonna have to separate it out and just strictly talk about mental health on a mental health channel. Because this is not this is not a mental health channel. For the I mean I may talk about people like the post traumatic stress disorder. Every now and then I'm going to do a presentation or do a psychoeducational piece on things.
Mhm.
Let's say like the reason why I did post traumatic stress is because Smoke God is diagnosed with. So I thought that was relevant to the sector, and a lot of people were making comments about post traumatic stress. So I thought it was necessary to kind of give a an hour and a half discussion on that and do some education on it because it was relevant to a popular content creator. But that's the only time I'm going to really focus in on mental health when something like that I think is necessary for me to talk about. But outside of that, I'm not saying a word
Okay.
for the
I
most
hear
part.
you. That- hey, which says volumes in itself.
Exactly. Outside of that, I'm not saying one word.
Yeah, man. It's
What's up, Black Abe? Black Abe, are you there?
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just checking in. I finally got a chance to call into the live, so I'm just here just to build with y'all. I was wondering. I think I seen somebody in the chat. Did y'all discuss the Asian dude that shot the little black boy?
I've heard about it. I didn't discuss it, but I saw it. I saw that was in social media. A lot of people were talking about it. I didn't want to discuss it at this point. Um, I wanted to maybe read up a little bit more on it to get more of the facts, but I did see a brief, um, like news clip about it. But if you want to discuss it, you can bring it up if you like. Can you hear?
My phone went out. I heard most of it. Oh shit.
Okay, go ahead. Are you there, brother? Okay. Anybody want to talk about that? About the Asian guy that killed the black child? Anybody want to discuss that? Anybody know any information about it in detail?
I heard about it. I don't know much. I know I'm angry about it from what I
Right.
have heard about it. I know there's a lot of I don't know. I don't want to say a lot on your channel because it's your channel, you know what I mean? But I know
Right.
there's a lot of hashtags out there for Asian hate, Asian crimes, and all this other
Right.
stuff, crimes against Asians and this and this. But there is not a single fucking law in place to protect Black hate, to protect the hurt against Black people, the
Right.
disrespect against Black people. We are still being murdered in these streets by either police or by citizens. It's ridiculous. I get it
Right.
that there's Black on Black crime, but there is also white on white crime. There's also Hispanic on Hispanic crime because people of certain demographics tend to live around one another. That's the reason why there's so much Black on Black crime because Black people tend to live around each other. Okay, so you're going to see Black on Black crime just like you see white on white crime because white people tend to live around each other. This is what happens. So that is not an excuse for us to be murdered like fucking roaches out in the street. It's ridiculous. And I'm tired of seeing everybody standing up for every single demographic except ours. And then when it happens to us, we bring up stuff like, oh, well, there's Black on Black crime too. And oh, well, there's, Black people got to stop doing this to each other, and then maybe this will stop. No, 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 because nobody would say that about an Asian person. Nobody would say that about a white person.
And that was one reason why I didn't want to touch it, because I didn't want to hear no shit. Because not that I feared the backlash from a particular channel, I really don't give a damn. But the fact of the matter is that, certain people, because of what was done, they would look at it as an opportunity. But by that happened, that I'm exploiting to point out that an Asian guy did something to the black community, and it hardly got the attention that it deserved. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of things that Asian countries are doing, or Asian people are doing against black people. I can talk about that all day if I wanted to, but I choose not
all
to.
day.
I can actually create a whole channel, Asian hate against black people. Now, it may get a lot of flack. It may be criticized. That people may say it was hate speech or something, but I could, because my thing. I'm gonna say this: the Asian hate against black people has been going on for over 30 years.
Yep.
If you want to be real about it, the Asian hate against black people has been persistent. The minute that they set almost 35 years, when those Asian businesses began to infiltrate into black communities and so forth, all of their stores and so forth. And one of the biggest forms of Asian hate, to me, is the Asian control of the hair care industry, in which Asian people purposely do things to prevent black businesses in the hair care industry and prosper. Now, I could talk about the economics of that. Asian people have done things to sabotage black businesses in the hair care industry from prospering.
Absolutely. I know about that. Yes. I was watching something about that on YouTube. There was this lady who has a black owned hair business, and she was talking about getting products, and trying to get those products from these Asian wholesale companies. And they will literally tell her, like, they'll purposely deny her certain shipments and different things like that. Right. She says she's tried several different companies, and they're all doing it. They're all doing it. But the Asian companies will get it much faster. Like they don't have no problem shipping that out to other Asians. But when it's a black community, or it's a black company trying to get the same products from the same companies, and she proved it, like, with receipts to prove that this was actually happening. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, I should have believed it.
And so my thing is this. Look, I'm not one, because I know this is a whole thing about black women in hair and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to get into the thing about black women wanting to wear hair of other women. I'm not even getting into that. My thing is this, is that because my thing is black men is also buying and giving them the money to get it. But at some point, we're going to have to stop patronizing people that don't respect us.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little, for me as a woman. I mean, I get as a woman who gets my nails done every 2 weeks. I do my hair, I get my hair done, constantly. Sometimes I wear weave, sometimes I wear a natural hairstyle. But I feel like I should have the option of doing that. The problem is we don't have enough black companies, countrywide, that are really able to sustain all of us being able to still do the same thing, without, any interruption in that. I personally don't want to stop getting my nails done. You know what I mean? Just because I know that Asian people are carrying this, carrying, these products. I don't want to stop getting my nails done. You know what I mean? So as long as we don't have the resources to be able to put more black companies in these positions, I don't really know what else to say about that. You know what I mean? Because
the thing about that, T-Pre, I hear what you're saying in regards to that. But what in regards to not wanting to stop because of that. But if at some point we don't sacrifice, it's not going to change. The reason why they're doing that is because black women won't stop.
Well, I agree with that, but what are we going to? The question is now, like, what's the solution? The solution cannot be we just stop doing it.
My solution is that you sacrifice that time that it's going to take, and we until we have a strategy of strategically owning a portion of that industry where you don't have to depend on Asians to get into the industry. That's because see, my thing is that let's just say, because my thing is this, the reason why I'm saying that, I wouldn't really be that keen in on that strategy itself as far as sacrificing if they wasn't intentionally trying to hurt black businesses. But because these Asians continuously try to hurt black businesses, I think that it's not intelligent for black people to support people outside of your community that are intentionally trying to hurt people in your community. That's my issue. Now, if it was all fair game, and let's just
I agree with that. Looking at it from that perspective does change my outlook on it.
Yeah, because it was different. It's if black people just were being like not prepared, not providing a good service. Wasn't, they was just running rinky-dink operations. You know what I'm saying? Now that would be something different. Now, I'm not gonna tell you not to go to a black business that's ran poorly. I'm not gonna tell you that. But because these Asian business owners are like the Vietnamese and so forth, mainly, are intentionally doing this, then I have issues with that. Now, if it was just the fact that they were failing to operate appropriately, okay, I would say, okay, T-Pre, this is a free enterprise. You need to, you're a consumer. You're gonna go to the best business based on equal playing field. But the bottom line is, it's not really a equal playing field, because they intentionally don't want you to support your own people, but to support people outside of your community. Because the thing about it, Asian people don't buy stuff from black people.
Shit, it's funny. They don't even use their own products. Like, I know that, well, I can say this. Some of the girls at the nail shop that I go to, I frequent the same nail shop all the time. Some of those girls, they do get their nails. They do have, like I use gel polish, so they use that. I can see that they use certain things. But when you go to like Chinese stores and Chinese restaurants and stuff, they're not eating that shit. They're not feeding their kids that or anything. Especially the Chinese restaurants, like that fried chicken, whatever grease they're cooking it in, if it's chicken, you know what I mean, and different things like that. They're not feeding their families that stuff.
You gotta love it though. What other group of people do we know of where you can go into their community, set up shop, treat them any type of way, give them any low quality product, and they'll give you their continued support? When I see those videos, when I see the sisters, these shop owners putting their hands on the sisters, I'm looking at all the brothers in that neighborhood like, why you not putting in that work? You know what I'm saying? Like, the sister got assaulted. Now I saw the one, what was crazy, this man, he put his hand on the sisters and all the brothers came out there. They was protesting. They was telling the lady, look, it's a black owned one, 4 blocks over, go around the corner and all of that. And there was this one girl out there cussing the brothers out because the dude, what he did, he marked all of his prices 50% off and had the sisters lining up around the block for the hair products. And I'm like, you got to ask yourself 2 questions. Number one, if he can afford to sell his stuff 50% off, how much is it really worth? That should be a question, that the lady should ask. But that was just crazy. I've seen that too many times. I saw the one video with the brother Tyrone Washington. He went in there and said, I'll give y'all 45 seconds to get up out of here. It was a nail salon. Then he just started throwing bricks through the window because the sister had got assaulted a couple of days before, and the community had already collected his bail money. And he went to jail. They bailed him out. He said, I'll be back in 2 weeks. So I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm saying if one of the sisters in the community has harm brought to her, that need to be rectified. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think going back a little bit to what we were talking about with the Asian that had shot the little girl, had shot the child.
Natasha Harlan.
Yeah, there's a lot of people coming out for this little girl. There's a lot of people apparently protesting. There's a lot happening over there in them streets. So, but
Can anybody hear me?
Definitely, more men need to step up in this community, in our community, a lot more.
Little Latasha lost her life for absolutely no reason, and then the judge gave this woman community service. That was insane. And what's funny, do you know that store was still standing? That store didn't get burned down until the actual LA riots after the King verdict. Then that store got touched. Back then, I was like saying, I said, all of you Bloods and all you Crips out here got no problem killing and shooting each other. But when it comes time to put in some work defending your own, you ain't got nothing. And that's why I lost respect for them. I don't know who hood that was in, but I kind of lost something. Again, I'm not advocating violence. We're talking about self-defense here. Nobody should be losing their life going into a store. That's crazy. And nobody, and our lives should not be worth so least of an amount that a person gets probation for murder. That little girl had the money to pay. She died with the money in her hand. That was insane.
I never even heard that story. What happened with that?
Huh?
I never heard that story. What happened with that?
Oh, look, well, Latasha Harlan, she went into the convenience store in her neighborhood, and she had on a backpack, and she went and got an orange juice, and she put the orange juice in her backpack, and she had the money in her hand, and she was heading towards the counter. Well, the owner of the store started yelling at her, saying, "Oh, you're stealing, you're this," and she was like, "Yo, I got the money right here. I'm not stealing. I have other things that I want to get to." So the lady started tussling with the little girl. So the little girl shoved her, and she fell backwards and went and got her gun from out of the counter. The little girl she threw the juice onto the counter, was walking out of the store, and this lady shot her in the head as she was walking away. She died clutching the dollars in her hand. And the judge said, "I don't think Miss Kwan is a bad person. She doesn't seem like the type that would do this again," and gave that woman a fine and community service for murder.
Wow.
That little girl, she would have been 45 years old today. She would have been 45 years old, and her mom does a memorial for her every year. Her mom does a memorial. But that was one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Huh?
She's 2 years older than me.
Yep. And the lady, right after that, they took the store and sold it to their cousins and went to another place and set up shop. As far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't have been another store there. That should have been a black-owned store after that. Like when, what's that place with Michael Brown where he got shot at? And what's that place? Is that in Missouri?
Michael Brown was in New York.
No, he wasn't. No, he was in. Yeah, Michael Brown was somewhere in that area.
Well, when Michael Brown got killed, and they burned down a lot of businesses, it was one when it opened back up. The beauty supply store became a black-owned beauty supply store, and that couple was running it. You know, so they flipped the neighborhood. You know, they flipped the business back their way, and that's how it should be. Speaking of that, I got a homegirl over here in Baltimore that flew all the way to India to get hair herself. She hooked up with the people and was buying bundles of hair right from the Indians direct. And it's a couple of people I went to school with. They opened up beauty supply stores, so I try to go and support them as much as possible. I kind of got this from Darrell. It was something Darrell said a couple of months ago. He said, look, even if it costs you a couple dollars more, even if it's, you know, the service might not be as good as you'd like it, still support your people. And that's the truth. So I've been going with that philosophy that, you know, when he put that out, because I used to always complain about the customer service and say, why can't we be better? And what about these prices? And then when you go into black-owned business, do not ask for a discount. Don't come in the door with that brother man stuff asking people for a discount. Right. Those people got bills. Right. They're not here to give you a soul brother discount. You don't do that nowhere else. You don't go into an Acme food market, walk up and down the aisle for 45 minutes get all the way up to the front. They ring you up and say $183, and you start talking about, man, yo, I'm saying, yo, what's up, man? I mean, can we do? You never do that. You pay the price and you get the hell out. Do the same thing in a black-owned business, because when other people shop with their own kind, they do not squabble about prices. They understand. See, you got to look at. If I'm a Jewish dentist and I charge you $1,500 for a crown, now you make wigs. So when I come to you and you're charging me for $1,000 for a wig, I'm going to pay you your asking price, because it don't matter. If we are both overcharging each other, we're all going to make a bigger profit. So who cares? You know, so you got to treat brothers and sisters the same way.
Right.
You know, support them no matter what. Trust me, when I had my shop for the time that I had it, when I was running, I would get that all the time. People want to hook up. They want you to break the law. And I would look at them in their face and say, I'm a respectable man. Do you really want me to break the law and give you a fake inspection sticker? Is that what you really want me to do? That's how you see your people. So it's insultive to your people to come in those stores and do that. And by the way, I want to say it to the people that are listening, to the agents in the audience. What we're talking about is not racism. Before you run back to your panels talking about they over there being racist, they talking about killing people. Yo, nobody advocated for any of that. What we talk about is when our community is attacked, we have a right to defend ourselves by any means necessary. And number two, our money should be spent with us, because that is just good economics and business. That has nothing to do with racism. And like I said, and if you got a problem with that, then show me other people coming into our business from other communities spending money. No, in my town, this is what they do. They come in, they open up a food booth, they get a bunch of black and Spanish people to come in and cook the food. Then one big thing, all business going from you working against yourselves. We have the largest economy in the world as an ethnic. We have enough buying power for our own problems economically. We don't need Oprah or Peachin. We're the biggest consumers in the world, and that's what we really need to focus on and learn how to curb. Stop trying to shine and get the latest car every year. Stop trying to bling and have a whole bunch of jewelry all the time. Spend your money with your people. Drive across town if you got to. Like I said, we just need black unity. We need to get that movement back going. I'm all for it.
All right. What's up? We on live.
Me too. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
All right. The situation that I heard is regards to that 6-year-old boy. I guess the Quinn is his name. He got upset because his bike was in his driveway, and so he went at him with a sledgehammer at first. But then when the little boy ran to his father, I guess he got a some type of gun and shot at the window and shot at his arm. So
wow,
that's what basically I heard about that. But then what I heard distinctly that everybody's an uproar about was the father said, "I'm scared for my family." It's like, what do you mean you're scared for your family? The next thing the one thing you need to do, the father said that, yes. He said he was scared for his family because he didn't know what to do. I said, I know what to do. Get my rifle and shoot at the dude that shot at my kid. Now, when he went to jail, Gwen went to jail. He got out early, but I guess he's back in jail right now. But he needs to be in jail for life. I've seen too many instances. These motherfuckers are about to get in an accident. I've seen too many instances where black women, including, go into supermarkets and hair product stores and getting their ass whooped for what reason I don't know. And then the only time I've seen a whole community go into one store It's a one store. I forgot what that city was. He went in there and he wanted an apology. I don't want an apology. I don't want an apology. I want your store being burnt down to the ground for touching my child. Now that's just me. Now we need to have that little Ice Cube mentality. I was like, you can't come into no black neighborhood, set up shop and do all that disrespecting shit. You touch my kid, you ain't gonna have your store no more. Now you can go back and yell to what government you have, what have you, or whatnot, but you had no business touching my child. And by the way, the white bitch that interviewed the boy. Now, give a disclaimer: no boy should be interviewed. No young boy should be interviewed, and he's going to be traumatized for God knows how long for being shot. He's going to ask,
"That's crazy.
Did it hurt?"
Man, this is crazy, man. Wow.
That's why I'm talking with my church and a couple of other churches to have in that march, because shit needs to be heard. Shit needs to be said. Shit needs to be addressed. And if you will not heed to our words, you will heed to the lessons that will be handed out to you if you are a non-black. Point blank. I hope everybody's with me.
Yeah, I want to add to that if I can. There's a lot of stuff that we're seeing now with this Asian stuff and with other things. And they just don't understand. I think society in a whole just doesn't understand the generation of children that we have raised up. The people in our 40s, 50s who have children in their 20s, who are not just, they are completely oblivious to some of the things that have happened in the civil rights, times. And prior to that, they just don't give a fuck, for real. I mean, keeping it plain. And so they're not going to tolerate this stuff. They're going to come out, and it's either going to be, you're going to give us what we want, you're going to do what we need, or there's going to be blood. And it's just that simple. I really think they're just not playing around. They're not going to question anything. I feel sorry for the future generations of people who disrespect Black people, because it's just not gonna be tolerated. And the system itself is going to shift eventually, where there's more Blacks in higher positions that will overlook some of this stuff and not let them go to jail and not give them such harsh times, and and different things like that. A lot of stuff is about to shift. We're in a shifting period of the world right now and in the universe. And a whole lot of stuff is about to change. It's already changing right before our eyes.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to be controversial. And I said this plenty of times before. And if you want to, you can go to a friend of mine named Kevin from realnagas.com. And the one reason why you are being disrespected, in my opinion, why Black people are being ignored when it comes to reparations, while Black people are being hypocrisized and genocide, is because of that word. It's because it's the ethnicity of you calling yourself African American. That's my own. That's the controversy behind all of it. Just think about it. None of them are going to respect you because you keep calling yourself something that doesn't exist. It's been over for centuries. When other people come over here, other people who are indigenous or other tribes and stuff like that, they get reparations because they know. Okay, so let me. I'm almost home. Let me get home real quick. Oh, Hold on. I'm gonna get home. I'm almost home. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna go ahead and fall back in the chat, D. It was good talking to y'all though.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, T Free,
All right,
take
guys.
care. Be
Anybody else
safe.
want to comment?
Yeah, hey, for real, just wanna, I don't know, comment, question, or whatever. But especially a lot of things Dr. Bombay brought up, which he always brings up good points. And
Right.
I think that in terms of the solutions, and we have a lot of the solutions, and it's we have to just honest. I'm gonna just be honest with you. In terms of me and you, bro, it might even be too late for us because change, like for us, it's gonna have to come almost from a generational standpoint. So, like the little kids now, those are ones we gotta start. The things that we want for ourselves, collective as a people, we gotta start imparting it on them because you're not gonna do anything that you're not aspiring to do. So, the doctors, the lawyers, the whatever, the entrepreneur, we have to put those thoughts in our children's heads young so they will grow up with them thoughts in their heads that's something they want to aspire to. It just don't happen by accident.
Okay. Okay.
But that's just my that's my
That is hilarious.
Hey, brother, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?